Hi, Josh.
Hi, how are you?
It's so wonderful to see you. I'm so surprised to find you.
I know.
And so I want to take this opportunity to snatch you to get a few impressions from you.
All right.
So, just in the way of introduction, just say who you are and how long you've been here at Xavier before you graduated.
My name is Joshua Cororve. I've been at Xavier from sixth grade, which in 2015 to when I graduated in 2022. It was a very, it was a very exciting 7 years.
Yeah. And so sixth grade to 12th, that's a significant chunk of time actually
Mm-hmm.
in one's young life, right? As you're developing. So, and where are you now?
So I go to McAllister College in St. Paul, Minnesota.
And what's your overall impression of living in Minnesota
I actually really
after
like the
Texas?
cold and the snow. I do not like hot weather very much, so
Uh,
it's a nice change of pace up there.
Great. So we'll get to the school in a bit, but I wanted to ask you to take a minute kind of reflect on your 7 years here and particularly, well, anything you want to say about them, and then how they prepared you for where you are now.
I feel like I really watched the school grow. Like the school was completely different when I first started versus how it is now. Well, when we were in the old space
Yeah,
in Westview, and now we've like moved, and it's become a lot bigger. But also, much of my high school was marked by COVID, and I do think that had some implications on just my high school. But I think in all, Xavier handled it really well,
yeah,
and I felt good that I was able to return quickly to in person and sort of like was able to reconnect with people instead of being stuck at home like some of my friends and family were for well over a year after.
yeah. That was a tough period for everybody, I think.
Yeah.
It just disoriented us in some way. So, what are there any activities or experiences that you had here that you think kind of really prepared you for life in the big campus?
I feel sort of like the flexibility. Sort of like it might seem a little weird to say that, but I feel like in general, just like there's not somebody over your shoulder every 2 seconds in college. And I feel like it can kind of feel the same way here sometimes too, but like kind of in a good way because it sort of like is able to make the school work for you. And someone with learning disabilities and everything, it sort of made it so I could, have the best possible experience
That's
and
fantastic.
adapt the experience
Yeah.
to me.
Were there any downsides? Are there any things that you think we could do better to prepare somebody like you?
I feel like maybe having slightly harder deadlines every so often,
Oh, really?
just because you're not going to get extensions like here in college. So
So, how did you manage that once you got up there?
I have a great support team there who's been helping me, and I have great professors who have been able to work with me a little more flexibly.
Oh, good. So you know how to advocate for
Yep,
yourself. Is that something you learned here
very
or?
much so.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, so just what would you recommend to, or who would you recommend your university to in the current students? I mean, if Xavier students wanted to go up there, who is it good for?
If you really want a small liberal arts school, but still kind of be in like a big city environment, because most of
Hmm.
them can be in very small towns. I visited
Yeah.
quite a few that were in like towns with like one traffic light, but now I have like, a big city and it's easily reachable.
Very rich in culture
And
too.
it's kind of like far, it's like far enough away that like, you feel like you're in a very different place, but it's also close. We're 10 minutes from the airports and there's like 10 daily flights to Houston, so I
Oh,
can
wow.
be back home in like no time.
That sounds fantastic.
Hmm.
So, any other messages you want to leave current students or your former teachers?
I do very much miss this place while I'm up there,
What
especially
about it?
especially the people. But like, I really do think Xavier prepared me for my next steps after.
Well, it is absolutely delightful to see you,
Thank
and
you.
I'm so glad you stopped by and gave us these few minutes.
You're so
Thanks.
welcome.
Thanks, Josh. Good luck.
Thank you.